The planet Valera had called home for centuries was alive with tension. Towers of black stone stretched toward the sky, and the streets below hummed with the controlled energy of an empire built on fear. Valera, the young alien princess, walked along the balcony of her palace, her golden armor gleaming in the pale light of the twin suns. She was proud, skilled, and feared by many. Her people whispered tales of her strength, her speed, and her unmatched skill in combat. Valera's mind, however, was not on the empire she ruled. It was on the rumors that had reached her palace. A human fleet had appeared near the outer sectors. Humans were small in number, slow to act in galactic politics, and their technology was considered primitive compared to the alien empires. Yet, these humans had begun winning battles where no one thought they could. Her curiosity had been piqued, but she had not imagined she would meet one face to face. The palace alarms shattered the quiet. Red lights flashed and sirens screamed through the corridors. Valera's heart did not race. She had faced invasion many times before. Her people expected her to remain calm, to lead, and to strike when necessary. But this time, there was something different in the air, a strange tension that whispered of the unknown. "Princess," her commander called. "An intruder has breached the outer defenses. Reports say it is human." Valera's eyes narrowed. Humans rarely dared enter alien strongholds, and never without careful planning. Yet here, one was, walking through her palace gates as though he owned the place. She gripped her weapon, a long blade forged from rare alloys, feeling its familiar weight in her hands. Moments later, she saw him. He moved with calm confidence, his armor unlike anything she had seen. A human male, tall, strong, and steady, walked through the palace hall. His eyes were focused, and every step he took seemed precise, deliberate. There was no fear in him. Valera stepped forward. "Stop," she commanded, her voice echoing through the grand hall. "You are trespassing in my palace. Identify yourself." The human stopped, looking directly at her. "I am Captain Jaren of the United Earth Fleet," he said simply. "I mean no disrespect, Princess. I am here to stop the fighting before more lives are lost." Valera laughed softly. "You are bold, human. You walk into an alien palace alone and expect to talk to me?" "I do not expect," Jaren replied. "I act because it must be done." Their eyes locked. There was a strange energy between them, a mixture of challenge and curiosity. Valera could feel it in her bones. This human was unlike any she had faced before. Skilled warriors often trembled when meeting her. This one did not. "Very well," she said, drawing her blade. "If words cannot stop you, then perhaps action will." The duel began. Valera's movements were lightning fast. Her blade cut through the air with deadly precision. Jaren moved with surprising agility, deflecting her strikes and countering with calculated force. Each move he made seemed simple, yet perfectly timed. Valera had never encountered a warrior who could match her skill so precisely. Minutes passed, and Valera realized something that made her blood run cold. This human was not just strong or lucky. He was intelligent. He anticipated her moves, adapted to her style, and found openings she had never allowed in battle before. "You are different," she admitted between attacks. "I have never faced anyone like you." "I am human," Jaren said, his tone calm. "We adapt quickly." The final strike came suddenly. Valera lunged, expecting Jaren to block or dodge. Instead, he sidestepped and held the flat of his blade against her chest, stopping her without harm. She froze, unable to move. "You yield," he said. Valera's pride burned, but she knew it was true. She had been defeated, but not humiliated. This human had bested her not by strength alone, but by skill, intelligence, and timing. And in that moment, a strange feeling washed over her. Respect. "I acknowledge my defeat," she said, kneeling slowly. "By the rules of my people, I must obey the one who has conquered me in battle." Jaren's eyes widened slightly. "You would swear loyalty to a human?" Valera's voice was firm. If conquered, I obey. My oath is clear. You have earned it, human. I will follow you wherever you go. The hall was silent. Her guards were stunned. Aliens who had waited for an opportunity to see her fail looked on with disbelief. And Jaren, he remained calm, understanding the weight of what had just happened. You will follow me, but you are not my servant, he said. Your loyalty is your choice, and I will respect it. But your skill will be needed. Together, we can save lives and stop this war. Valera nodded. She rose from her knees, her golden armor gleaming. Though her people might call her traitor, she did not waver. The oath she had spoken was binding in her heart. She would follow this human, obeying only him, learning from him, and fighting alongside him. The humans retreated with her carefully. Valera walked beside Jaren, keeping pace with him, her eyes scanning for threats. Everywhere they went, whispers followed. Some spoke in fear, others spoke in awe. A human had bested the alien princess, and now she chose to follow him. As they left the palace behind, Valera felt a strange mix of excitement and uncertainty. She was leaving her home, her empire, and everything she had known. Yet something inside her told her this path would lead to greatness, not just for her, but for the humans, and perhaps even the galaxy. For the first time in her life, Valera's heart was not ruled by pride or duty alone. It was ruled by her oath, and that oath was clear: obey only her conqueror. As the stars stretched out before them, Jaren looked at Valera. Are you ready? He asked. I am ready, Valera said firmly. I will follow you everywhere. And so, the unlikely partnership began. An alien princess bound by honor and an unshakable human captain, venturing into the unknown. Together, they would face challenges the galaxy had never seen, and their bond would grow stronger with each step, each battle, and each choice. Little did they know, their journey would not just test their strength, but the very meaning of loyalty, courage, and the power of humans in a galaxy that had never truly understood them. The stars stretched endlessly outside the hull of the human starship. Valera had never imagined a ship like this. It was vast, organized, and alive with purpose. Humans moved quickly through its corridors, each performing tasks with precision. The machines hummed, lights blinked, and screens displayed information from across the galaxy. Valera walked beside Jaren, her golden armor gleaming even under the artificial light. She had followed him from her palace, leaving everything familiar behind. Her mind raced with questions, and a small part of her felt uncertain. Could she trust humans completely? Would following Jaren lead her to honor or to ruin? You seem impressed, Jaren said, noticing her wide eyes as she examined the ship. I am, Valera admitted. Your technology is different from anything I have seen. It is efficient, organized, but also clever. Jaren smiled slightly. Efficiency keeps us alive. Cleverness helps us survive. Both are needed. Valera nodded. There was something about humans she could not ignore. Their strength was not only in their weapons or ships, but in their minds. They adapted, learned, and found ways to overcome problems others thought impossible. This was what had allowed a human like Jaren to defeat her. Over the next few days, Jaren began teaching her human tactics. He explained how the humans combined strategy, observation, and instinct in ways that often surprised alien enemies. Valera listened, learning quickly, though her pride made her stubborn at times. She wanted to master these methods on her own, without seeming dependent. You must think faster, Jaren instructed during one training session. Humans survive because we adapt. We see patterns, anticipate moves, and act before danger strikes. Valera nodded, her hands gripping her blade. I understand, she said. But your humans are slower in direct combat than my people. I must combine your tactics with my speed. Exactly, Jaren replied. Your strength and speed make you unstoppable if you apply human thinking to it. Valera practiced tirelessly, running simulations, studying strategy boards, and sparring. with human soldiers. Each day she improved, surprising Jaren with her quick learning. Her movements were precise, her decisions rapid, and her mind sharper than ever. One day, an alert sounded across the ship. A small fleet of space raiders had attacked a nearby human colony. Jaren and Valera immediately prepared for battle. The mission was dangerous, but it was also a test of Valera's abilities and her loyalty. The starship entered the raiders' space quietly. Valera observed, noticing weaknesses in their formations. She pointed them out to Jaren, who nodded. Together they adjusted their strategy, blending human technology with her alien combat instincts. When the battle began, Valera was unstoppable. Her speed and agility allowed her to move through enemy ships, disabling weapons and disarming foes. With surgical precision, she followed Jaren's plan but adapted quickly when unexpected obstacles appeared. Humans and aliens fought side by side, a team forged in trust and skill. During the fight, a large enemy fighter broke through the defensive line and targeted Jaren's ship. Valera reacted instantly. With a leap and a flash of her blade, she struck the enemy ship's engines, sending it spinning out of control. The human crew cheered, and Jaren's eyes reflected both pride and amazement. "You are remarkable," Jaren said after the battle, once they were safe. "Your strength saved lives today." The human starship glided through hyperspace toward a neutral planet known for hosting the Galactic Council. Valera had never seen a planet like this. Its cities floated above glowing seas, and its towers stretched into the sky like silver spires. Traders, diplomats, and soldiers from many species moved about, each representing different worlds and interests. Valera walked beside Jaren on the council platform, her golden armor polished and shining. She observed the various alien delegates, noting their expressions, postures, and the subtle ways they tried to show power. Many whispered among themselves, casting curious or suspicious glances at her. A human was leading an alien princess through their council, a sight that had never occurred before. Jaren spoke quietly. "Stay close. Watch how they interact. Learn what motivates them. Your knowledge will be valuable here." Valera nodded. She had learned much from Jaren already, but this was different. Politics was not about strength or skill. It was about perception, strategy, and timing. And she could feel that every alien in the council room was testing her. The first session began with debates over trade rights, defense treaties, and territorial claims. Voices rose, tempers flared, and accusations flew. Valera observed silently, noting weaknesses in logic, miscalculations in strategy, and hidden alliances. Though she was young, her experience in war and leadership gave her insight few could match. A delegate from a powerful alien faction interrupted the discussion. "This human commands an alien princess. Do you expect us to respect this alliance?" he demanded, his voice sharp and full of contempt. Valera stepped forward. Her presence silenced the room. "I am Valera," she said, her voice calm but firm. "I follow only the one who bested me in battle. That human, Captain Jaren, has proven his skill, strategy, and honor. You may doubt him, but you cannot doubt my oath." Gasps spread across the chamber. Some aliens murmured angrily. Others whispered in amazement. Jaren remained calm, but he glanced at Valera with a mixture of surprise and respect. She had spoken, clearly, without fear, and her words carried weight. The session continued, and Valera's insights became critical. She pointed out hidden weaknesses in opposing factions' proposals, offered alternative strategies for defense agreements, and used her knowledge of alien combat and politics to persuade neutral parties. Jaren nodded at her suggestions, implementing them tactically in the council debates. During a recess, a human delegate approached. "Captain," he said quietly, "we did not expect an alien princess to speak so boldly. You have changed the dynamics here." Jaren smiled. "That is Valera. Her loyalty is more than obedience. It is intelligence, strength, and honor combined. This is why I trust her." Valera watched the humans and aliens interact. She noticed how humans valued honesty and reasoning, while many alien delegates relied on intimidation and historical power. She realized that Jaren's strength was not in his weapons, but in his ability to inspire trust and command respect without fear. The true test came when a covert attempt was made to assassinate Jaren during a council gathering. Smoke filled the hall, alarms blared, and chaos erupted. Delegates screamed and ran for cover. Valeera acted instantly. Her reflexes, honed from years of training and combat, allowed her to intercept the intruders before they could reach Jaren. She moved like a shadow, disarming opponents silently, using her speed and agility to neutralize threats. Jaren, while skilled, could not have reacted in time without her protection. In minutes, the danger was over and the intruders were captured. The council stared in disbelief. Valeera's actions had saved not only Jaren but also countless delegates. Whispers of admiration spread quickly. Some aliens were fearful, realizing that the human who had conquered Valeera now commanded her unmatched loyalty and skill. After the attack, Valeera confronted Jaren privately. "You trusted me in front of them," she said quietly. "You could have acted yourself. Why rely on me?" Jaren studied her calmly. "Because I know your loyalty is absolute. You act not from fear, but from honor and respect. That makes you reliable in ways no one else can be." Valeera's eyes softened. She understood then that her oath was not a limitation. It was a source of power. By choosing to follow Jaren, she had become part of a team that combined human ingenuity with alien skill, a force that could outmatch even the most cunning enemies. The council meeting ended with partial success. Some factions agreed to support the humans while others remained suspicious. Valeera's presence had shifted the balance of power. Allies were inspired by her courage and skill, enemies were wary of her loyalty, and Jaren gained respect across the council as a strategist capable of guiding such a powerful ally. As the human starship departed from the planet, Valeera looked at the council's towers fading in the distance. She realized that the galaxy was more complex than battlefields alone. Politics, strategy, and alliances mattered just as much as combat. And with Jaren by her side, she could navigate both realms. "Dao, you ever fear them?" she asked quietly. "The council, the aliens, the politics?" Jaren shook his head. "Fear is wasted energy. Understanding and preparation matter more. And with you beside me, I feel ready for anything." Valeera felt a surge of pride. She had left her palace, her empire, and her people behind. Yet she had gained something far greater: purpose, partnership, and the chance to redefine loyalty and honor on a galactic scale. The stars ahead were many and full of challenges, but Valeera no longer doubted herself. She would follow Jaren everywhere, learning from him, fighting alongside him, and using her skill to protect those who could not protect themselves. Her oath was clear, and her heart was steady. In the galaxy of shifting alliances and hidden dangers, she was no longer just a princess. She was a warrior, a strategist, and a symbol of honor, bound to a human who had earned her unwavering loyalty. As the starship sailed deeper into the void, Valeera prepared herself for the next challenge. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and unpredictable. But with Jaren, she was ready, and together they would face whatever came, proving that humans and those who followed them could change the course of history. Valeera stared at the holographic message that blinked before her. Her homeworld, the empire she had left behind, had branded her a traitor. Her name, once spoken with respect and fear, was now whispered with anger and betrayal. Alien forces loyal to her family had been dispatched to eliminate her. She clenched, her fists, her golden armor reflecting the dim lights of the human starship. "They want me dead," she said quietly, almost to herself. "My own people, my own family." Jaren approached, placing a firm hand on her shoulder. "We knew this could happen," he said. "Your departure will anger them. But we are prepared. You are not alone, Valeera." Valeera nodded. Her loyalty to Jaren had grown stronger with each mission, each battle, each shared strategy. She had left her palace, her title, and her empire behind. But facing her own people, this was different. The pain was deeper, Personal. The human starship altered course, heading toward the rebel-controlled sectors near Valera's homeworld. Their mission was clear: protect human colonies and neutral factions from attacks while avoiding unnecessary conflict with her former empire, if possible. Valera trained relentlessly. Her alien combat skills were unmatched, but she had also mastered human strategy, tactics, and problem-solving. Every movement, every strike, every decision was now faster, sharper, and more precise. Yet she felt a heavy weight on her shoulders. Fighting her own people was not just about skill, it was about heart, and hers wavered. When the first encounter came, it was sudden. Alien cruisers loyal to Valera's family emerged from hyperspace, blocking the starship's path. Their weapons glowed, ready to strike. Valera's stomach tightened, but she forced herself to stay calm. Jaren turned to her. "This is your home, your people," he said. "Do what you must, protect them from unnecessary loss if possible, but do not compromise your oath to me." Valera drew her blade, feeling its weight grounding her. "I will act with honor," she promised. The battle began. Lasers cut through the void and starships maneuvered with deadly precision. Valera coordinated with Jaren, using her knowledge of alien tactics to anticipate their enemies' moves. She was fast, striking at weak points, disarming enemy vessels without destroying them when she could. Her presence unnerved the attacking fleet, an alien princess fighting against her own people, following a human leader. In the middle of the fight, Valera faced a familiar figure, her former friend and general, Kale. He was skilled, proud, and shocked to see her fighting alongside humans. "Valera," Kale shouted, "how dare you betray your empire? Your loyalty is nothing." "I am not betraying anyone," Valera replied firmly, her eyes locked on his. "I honor my oath. That oath binds me to one who bested me, not to fear, not to pride, not to a throne." Kale charged at her, weapons drawn, moving with all the skill he had taught her as a young warrior. Valera countered quickly, her blade meeting his in a flash of sparks. The fight was fierce, neither giving ground. Each strike carried years of training and emotion, friendship, respect, and now conflict. "You could have stayed," Kyle shouted, during a brief pause. "You could have led us to victory." "I chose a different path," Valera replied. "I fight where I believe honor and skill are needed most. You cannot force loyalty by fear or power." With a final maneuver, Valera disarmed Kale without harming him. The edge of the star system glowed with tension. Enemy ships had gathered in massive numbers, forming a blockade designed to crush human allies and anyone who dared resist. Valera stood on the bridge of the human starship, her golden armor reflecting the red glow of distant suns. She had faced many battles before, but this felt different. The scale was immense and the stakes higher than ever. Jaren moved beside her, calm and focused. "This is the moment we have trained for," he said. "Every skill, every strategy, every choice matters now. Stay close, Valera. We face them together." Valera nodded. She had learned much since leaving her homeworld. Human strategy, teamwork, and resourcefulness had become second nature. Yet her heart beat faster at the thought of such a vast enemy fleet. Her oath to Jaren had never felt more important. The battle began with a sudden strike. Laser beams cut through space, and explosions lit up the darkness. The enemy fleet was larger and more organized than any they had faced before. Valera coordinated with Jaren, using her knowledge of alien tactics to anticipate their moves. "Divert shields to the left flank," Valera commanded, her voice steady. "Enemy ships are weak there." Jaren acted instantly, his crew following orders with precision. The human fleet adjusted, exploiting the opening Valera had identified. Ships moved like clockwork, their actions guided by strategy, courage, and trust. But then, disaster struck. Valera was captured by an enemy boarding ship. Alarms blared as she was restrained and taken to a holding area deep within the enemy vessel. Her heart did not falter. She had prepared for this. Her training, her instincts, and her loyalty to Jaren would guide her through. Meanwhile, Jaren realized what had happened. "We cannot leave her," he said firmly. "She is not just our ally, she is essential. Prepare a rescue team." Valera, in her cell, studied the room carefully. Guards moved in patterns, security cameras scanned the area, and the ship hummed with energy. Using her agility, speed, and knowledge of alien technology, she disabled the restraints and silently took down 2 guards. Every movement was precise, calculated, and silent. When the rescue team arrived, Valera was already ready. Together she and Jaren's humans fought their way back to the bridge of the enemy ship. Valera's skill and speed allowed her to strike quickly, neutralizing threats before they could react. Her presence turned the tide, allowing the human team to regain control. During the mission, the enemy commander confronted Valera. "You could return to your throne, your armies," he sneered. "Leave this human. He cannot protect you forever." Valera's eyes narrowed. "I follow only my conqueror," she said firmly. "You offer me power, but I choose honor, loyalty, and trust. I will not abandon him." Her words resonated through the ship. Even the enemy soldiers paused, recognizing the determination and strength in her voice. Valera's loyalty was absolute, and her skill unmatched. The battle continued as the human fleet pressed the attack. Valera moved with precision, striking enemy ships at weak points, disabling weapons and leading counterattacks. Every action reflected the combination of alien skill and human strategy she had mastered. Jaren watched her in admiration. "You are extraordinary," he said quietly. "Your strength, your loyalty, you make all of us stronger." Valera smiled faintly. "I only act where it matters most. With you, I am at my best." Together, they coordinated the final assault on the enemy flagship. Valera infiltrated the ship, disabling its defenses while Jaren's fleet attacked from outside. The enemy commander realized too late that their plan had failed. Valera's combination of speed, intelligence, and human strategy was unstoppable. With a final strike, Valera disabled the flagship's engines. The remaining enemy ships, witnessing their leader defeated, surrendered or retreated. The human fleet had won, thanks to the partnership between Jaren and Valera. After the battle, the galaxy spoke of their victory. Valera's name was both feared and respected. She had faced her greatest challenge, stayed true to her oath, and proven that loyalty to a human conqueror was not weakness, but strength. Later, as the fleet regrouped, Jaren approached her. "You could have chosen safety, power, or even vengeance," he said, "but you chose honor and loyalty. That is what makes you remarkable." Valera looked out at the stars, her mind steady. "I followed my oath, I did what I promised, and I do not regret it. My loyalty is my choice, not my burden." Jaren placed a hand on her shoulder. "And that choice will inspire others. Across the galaxy, they will see that humans and those who follow them can achieve greatness together." Valera nodded. She had faced her ultimate test and emerged stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. Her loyalty to Jaren had been proven, her skill respected, and her heart steady. She had fought not only for survival, but for honor, trust, and the promise she had made. As the stars stretched before them, Valera knew the journey was far from over. The galaxy was vast, filled with dangers, mysteries, and challenges yet to come. But she was ready. With Jaren, she could face anything, and together they would continue to protect the innocent, challenge the powerful, and change the fate of worlds. Her oath was clear, her loyalty was unwavering, and the human who had conquered her would always have her by his side, a force unmatched in skill, courage, and honor. The galaxy was quieter now, but only just. Battles had been won, fleets rebuilt, and alliances formed. Valera stood on the observation deck of the human starship, watching the planets pass beneath them. Her golden armor gleamed in the soft light, but her expression was calm, reflective. She had fought countless battles, faced betrayal, and proven her loyalty to Jaren again and again. Jaren joined her silently. He did not need to speak for her, to understand what he was thinking. Together, they had changed the course of the galaxy. They had shown that humans were not just clever and brave. They could inspire loyalty, trust, and courage even in the most unlikely allies. The galaxy will not forget what we have done, Jaren said quietly. Your actions have saved countless lives, Valera. And your loyalty. It has changed how they see humans. Valera nodded. I have left my throne, my empire, and my people behind. Yet I feel stronger than ever. I fight not because I must, but because I choose to, and I choose to follow you. Jaren smiled faintly. That is why I trust you completely. Together we have made a difference, and together we can continue to do so. Their next mission was one of diplomacy and rebuilding. Many systems had suffered from years of conflict. Trade routes were disrupted, colonies destroyed, and trust between species was fragile. Valera's presence, once controversial, now became a symbol of hope. Aliens who had once doubted her now approached her for guidance. Humans respected her skill and honor. Together, they showed that cooperation was stronger than fear. Valera met with council leaders and governors, speaking with clarity and confidence. She advised on defense strategies, trade agreements, and peace settlements. Her experience as a warrior, combined with Jaren's strategic mind, made them a formidable pair. Every word she spoke carried weight. Every action she took reflected honor and wisdom. One evening, as the starship traveled between systems, Jaren watched Valera train with human soldiers. Her movements were fluid, precise, and controlled. She corrected mistakes with patience and demonstrated techniques that combined her alien skill with human strategy. The soldiers listened with awe, inspired by her dedication. You have become a teacher as well as a warrior, Jaren said, standing beside her. Valera smiled faintly. I teach what I have learned. Strength alone is not enough. Knowledge, strategy, and honor must guide every action. Their next challenge came when a neighboring system requested assistance. A rogue faction threatened to destabilize the region, attacking settlements and trade routes. Jaren and Valera led a combined fleet to defend the system. The battle was intense, but Valera's knowledge of alien tactics gave them an advantage. She moved with precision, coordinating attacks and defenses with Jaren. Her presence inspired confidence in the human crew and fear in their enemies. They had faced overwhelming odds before, and this was no different. After the battle, as they secured the system, Valera and Jaren stood together on the bridge. Ships from the newly stabilized system saluted them. Citizens cheered, grateful for their protection. You have done more than fight, Jaren said softly. You have inspired others to see what is possible when humans and aliens work together. Valera's eyes softened. It is not just about victory. It is about showing that trust, loyalty, and honor are more powerful than fear or force. News of their actions spread across the galaxy. Valera's name became legendary, not as a ruler who demanded obedience, but as a warrior who chose her path, a symbol of courage and honor. She had proven that following a human conqueror did not diminish her strength. It amplified it. As they returned to the starship's main observation deck, Valera and Jaren looked out at the stars together. They had faced betrayal, massive fleets, and impossible odds. Yet they had emerged stronger, their bond unshakable. You once asked why I follow you, Valera said quietly. Now I understand fully. It is not because I must. It is because I respect you, trust you, and believe in what we can achieve together. Jaren placed a hand on her shoulder. And that respect and trust will continue to guide us. The galaxy is vast, and there will always be challenges. But together, we can face them all.